Greetings, my name is Tommy the Keyblade Master and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a first look at Assassin's Creed Unity, and yes, I know the game's been out for 6 months, but I just started playing it. And of course, when it came out, it got kind of well known for being one of the buggy games that released last year. I kind of gave it hell because when I put in my Xbox One and downloaded it, because I came with those digital games bundled in with it, I had to download an 8 gigabit patch, I think, to fix it. And that patch actually had a bug in it for some of the previous downloaders that made it re-download the whole 40 gigabit game again. So needless to say, I batched it. That said, Ubisoft is still amateurs in this. To patch the Halo Master Chief Collection, and this is just the single player, the multiplayer still has bugs, it was 18 gigabits. I hope we don't have another fall season like last year, cause if I have to start buying side hard drives just to fit the patches, I'm going to be pissed. But anyways, on to Assassin's Creed Unity. What do I think of it so far? Well, there's a few nice returns to form so far. I did enjoy Assassin's Creed 3, one of the few who did, and I did enjoy Black Flag a whole lot, but they were very different from the first batch of Assassin's Creed games, because the first several Assassin's Creed games happened in ancient Europe or the Middle East and dealt with these large ancient cities with high skyscrapers for you to climb on. And then 3 and 4 kind of happened in the West during the time when colonization had just started. So, you're dealing with smaller towns and cities and not much landmarks to really do a human fly on. So it's nice to kind of be climbing around these places. Your character, Arno, is a little bit too much Ezio, at least at first. He might change. There's elements of the story that are, of course, different from him, but there's a lot of similarities. Arno lost his father to the Templars. He's a womanizer, a rogue, gets into fights. Similar to Ezio, he even has a ponytail like Ezio's. So I was thinking, is this just going to be Ezio's story retold? There's a few signs that say no. I do also have to nitpick that the first part of the game story, first 10-15 minutes, doesn't seem to have anything to do with the rest of the game. You start off in the 1300s with the dismantling of the Templars, which is, of course, a real-life event that happened. The King of France wanted them gone because he owed them a lot of money. So they do show this, except they put their own Assassin's Creed spin to it. The assassins were, of course, behind the sacking, blah, 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 and then you get interrupted by a bunch of assassins through a video saying they need you to go through this DNA sequence. No introduction to who they are, no introduction to who you are, you're just put into it. They really should have thought better about this modern sequence. Like I said, I'm not through the whole game, I'm only through about 2 hours of it so far, but if this is going to be the modern day thread narrative, they really needed more thoughts on this. As far as the gameplay goes, it plays like a lot of the rest of the Assassin's Creed. Combat's a little bit fleshed out, and the guards are a lot harder to avoid than in past games, which isn't a bad thing, because, if you watched my review on the original Assassin's Creed, it was like you were killing an army full of morons. I had a video clip where the whole street was nothing but dead guards that chased after me. There was like 20 or 30 bodies littering the street, and my health had barely gotten down one little bit. Here they're a little harder to escape from. You do have to use your counters and your dodges well and right, and I do enjoy that. Also, if you try to run from them, they will shoot at you, and their bullets are a lot more accurate than those old rocks used to be. So I think this game might be a little bit harder. We'll just have to see. Graphics goes, they do run extremely smooth. I do like the texture of the fabric and how real it looks in movement, and how dust and some of these other side effects come across as good, although there are a few moments where I notice like some artifacing and stuff, but maybe I'm being nitpicking. Of course, and maybe again nitpicking, I noticed when I was walking through this ball all dressed up like a nobleman with a sword on my side, that the sword was kind of going in and out of the armor, kind of just floating on my side rather than actually being attached. But I guess I shouldn't nitpick too much. A lot of games do that type of animation. It's kind of a trick. You kind of have to do that with the computers just because of the way some of these 3D models act, I guess. But when I noticed that, I kind of got distracted from it. But again, I'm nitpicking, and I also sit extremely close to my TV because I have extreme short-sightedness, among other eye problems. So anyways, what do I think of it so far? I think it could be a good game. We'll just have to wait until I'm done, and I'll do a full review in a couple of weeks. But fully patched, this might actually be a great game. But Ubisoft, next Assassin's Creed game, make sure it got some quality assurance. Patches are necessary to pretty much any games nowadays. But when I have to download a patch that is bigger than the last Assassin's Creed game on the Xbox 360, you have problems. Alright, that's it for my very first look at Assassin's Creed Unity. Hopefully it will turn out to be a good game. I did keep the blood on in this video, and I probably will keep the blood on in this game when I'm recording, mainly because it's the French Revolution. It's one of the most bloodiest times in human history. I don't really want to censor that for some reason. It really was a violent time, and it'll be interesting to see how Ubisoft portrays this game. The patches seem to be working okay. There are a few problems here and there, but for the most part, they're just nitpicks. And on these larger sandbox games, you usually do encounter bugs. It's just the way they work. So hopefully this will be a fun game. I will let you know in a few weeks when I do my full review. This is Tommy the Keyblade Master signing out. If you would like to subscribe, please click on that button, and by all means, feel free to comment on this video as well.